Hello, everyone. This is Jenna, founder and CEO of Million Marker. Welcome to the second Instagram Live this week. We're like always like super passionate about eco-friendly, hormone-safe, and toxic-free products. And then that's why we're like super excited today to have co-founder and CEO of Hugh and Grace joining us, Sara Jensen. So I'm gonna let her in. Hugh and Grace. I have invited her, so she should be in any minute. So I love what Sarah's doing because we kind of share the similar story, how we started the company. Hi, Sarah.
Hi. Wait, really fast. Have me join on Hugh and Grace. Oh wait, Hugh and
Yes.
Grace is on. Okay, am I on?
Yes, you're on. Perfect. I was just introducing you a little bit, and I said I love your story because we kind of started the company on a similar path. I mean, I started Million Market because one reason was my fertility struggle, and then I know you're the same. And then also Hugh and Grace go above and beyond vetting the product, and we also go above and beyond vetting products. So it's like almost like a
It was
perfect.
destiny.
It's yeah,
Destiny.
it's destiny. And I'm not even nervous doing today's Instagram Live because I knew you already, and I'm like super excited.
No, we go way, way back. We actually got to meet live. We met during COVID and we actually got to meet live during COVID. That's how to
Yes, yes, and also for everyone who's seeing this and our followers, you can click in our LinkedIn bio, and then all the followers gets 10% off using the code Million purchasing Hugh and Grace products.
on your
Eh,
site, on Million Marker. Oh, do you want me, because I've looked it up. Do you want to tell them how to find it on your site?
Yes, so under our approved product, you can actually find Hugh and Grace, the entire line of the Hugh and Grace product. And I actually have used the product, and then this is my empty bottle of one that I used, but we can going. So thank you so much, Sarah, for joining today. And then, first to start off, that, we can take a moment, maybe tell the viewers, a bit about your story and how you started Hugh and Grace.
Of course, of course. Well, thank you for having me on here. I always love talking with you. I always learn stuff talking with you. But so Hugh and Grace, it was founded on based on a very personal struggle. My husband and I had, we were married for personal struggle. So Ben and I were married for almost 20 years, and we spent 14 of those years struggling with unexplained infertility. During that time, we spent all of our money in doing everything we knew was possible, going to top doctors across the country, acupuncture, diets, yoga, therapy, you name it, we did it. We did a lot of research during that time because we couldn't figure out what was wrong. There wasn't anything diagnosed. And we learned that there are chemicals found in most of the products we put on our bodies that impact our hormones. And and I think one of the most unnerving things, these chemicals can also be found in clean and non-toxic products. So a lot of people talk about toxins, but they don't really talk about these chemicals. They're called hormone disrupting chemicals. The incredible end to the story, in the beginning of this story, is my husband's sister volunteered to be our surrogate and gave birth to our son, Hugh. Then my sister volunteered to be our second surrogate and gave birth to our daughter, Grace. So we have our two little miracles, Hugh and Grace. They are 2 and 4. I'm turning off the heater in my so you can hear better. But it was really after having our kids and saying, we had so many people sacrifice to help us have our dreams, and we knew a lot. We had a lot of access, and we said we can really help create a solution. And so we founded Hugh and Grace.
This is incredible. And you use their name to name the company.
I know we joke the name's Hugh and Grace. It sounds like a 90-year-old couple, but the name, but the name Hugh means heart, mind, and spirit. The name Grace means goodness, generosity, and love. And those are the things that brought us our family. And then also those are the values for the business, for the company.
Love it. And then Hugh and Grace also have a slogan that's better than clean. Tell everyone, elaborate a bit more on the philosophy of this slogan.
Yes, and so I think it's always interesting when you're introducing a new topic to somebody. And depending on their level of awareness and knowledge, they either understand the clean and why that matters, or they don't, and they just want to have amazing products. And so our whole, we launched with just 4 products because we wanted something that was simple. We call our products hormone-safe. A lot of people don't know what that means, but we say, hey, these are 4 simple things you can use every single day. They're gender neutral. They're safe for babies, safe during pregnancy. You don't need anything else more than this. And it's simple, it's easy. And so instead of talking to people about endocrine disrupting chemicals or hormone disrupting chemicals and why these chemicals actually really matter, because they're linked to infertility, but they're also linked to cancers and autoimmune diseases and Parkinson's, and the list goes on. And so we said, hey, we're better than clean. Our products are better than clean. They're better performing. They outperform most other products that are out there, but they're also better for you. And better for you, we talk about more like hormone health. What do hormones do? What role do they have in your life? They regulate your mood, your weight, your sleep, your libido even, and your health. And so just keeping the messaging where it's positive, it's uplifting, it's simple. You're like, oh, so and the fact that clean has no definition. Anyone could say their products are clean. But there's just a level of simplicity and ease. So we're better than clean.
I love the slogan because it's also one of our mission at Million Marker is also educate the consumers why they need to care about these chemicals. And then we have also seen, yes, it's really hard for people to understand. Some people don't even know what hormone is. So, saying hormone safe or even throwing endocrine or endocrine system, it's really, really hard for people to understand. So this better to clean is it's perfect. It's simple and it's right to the point.
Well, and you know how important this stuff is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how, when you first started, how did you find out, how many of the product that you were using kind of you realize that you need to change, and because of the ingredients before you created Hugh and Grace?
Well, so it's interesting. So during our years and years and years of infertility struggles, I was altering so many different things in my life, but I wasn't realizing that what I was putting on my body actually impacted my body, got into my bloodstream. I was doing hormone creams where I put a cream on my leg one night, go and get my hormones tested the next morning. My hormones had skyrocketed. You think about the body, the nicotine patch and the pain patch, what you put on your body really does make an impact. So then I was realizing that these chemicals are even in clean and non-toxic products. And so we said, okay, let's take a step back. Let's create, so we, my husband and I both had great professional careers. We have great professional careers now, but we had an amazing network. And so we were going out and reaching out. We had some very high level introductions with some of the largest beauty manufacturers in the world. And we said, hey, this is what we want to create. This is what we learned. We want to have something that performs just as well or better than what's out there, but that's really impactful. And a lot of formulators said, we can't do that. Chemicals are easy. They're cheap. The performance is there. And so we finally found a formulator group that was absolutely fantastic. They have 400 years of green chemistry experience in their team. And I remember when we first sat down with the CEO, originally he said, we walked in the room and I said, this is what we want to do. And he said, he's like, wow. I've been in the industry for over 30 years. I've never heard anybody describe anything like this. Let us go to work and let us think how we can do this. And how do we craft it? And how do we make it? We kind of compare skincare to almost wine, because it's really to have it where it's all natural and to have the best ingredients, you have to craft it and make it. It takes longer and it's more expensive and but the performance and the results are there.
I love the performance and results. I had eczema before, and then I can say now that after I use this, my eczema has actually improved. And I've been following you guys. I know there are multiple users have posted their photos before and after using the product that the eczema has gone better, and both for adults and kids. So that's pretty amazing.
Well, I love that. You can say that. I can't say that. I love that. And I also want, because I have our Hugh and Grace, a lot of people are watching on you. I also want Jenna I can talk about how wonderful you are, but how about you also give a background on Million Marker? Because I think it's fascinating that you are on our medical advisory board and we really rely on you. And I've gained so much information and knowledge from you.
Yeah, I started Miller Market. I kind of mentioned earlier. It's also because of my own fertility struggles. I have two super rare genetic condition and miscarriage, late stage miscarriage, after miscarriage, and the doctor also couldn't tell me what's going on with me. And because I studied environmental exposures, I know these chemical could impact, but there's like no test available for me to know what I have been exposed to. If there's something I can do something about it, because I've done genetic testing. A lot of people have done genetic testing, but there's not much you can do after you know what your gene is about. But for environmental exposure, it's something really tangible. You can actually do something about it. So that kind of prompted me to start, because I felt even if I just get this sense of assurance, knowing that I'm doing everything right, it was worth it, because I was pretty desperate after multiple miscarriages at late stage. And I think since we started the million marker, that we also realized there's like a huge gap in terms of like letting consumer know, educating people why they need to care about these things, and not only good for themselves or for their future kids, but also good for the environment and good for everybody. So it's pretty more important. So yes, thanks for asking.
And I mean, you, of course, it's a personal connection, but your background, you have, I can't, how many degrees do you have? I mean, Fulbright scholar and Stanford and all these, you're incredibly bright. Actually, the president of Environmental Working Group connected us, said you should reach out, and that's how we were connected. But I love the fact that you've, besides being so impacted by it personally, but you set out to create something that can really help drug awareness and help other people as well.
Well, we work together because we also need more manufacturers, more brands like Hugh and Grace, to actually provide good products. Because we do the testing, but after testing, we really want to give people actionable feedback, and then very, very tangible action plans and how they can actually reduce their exposures. And then one biggest exposure is from personal care products, and so we need more Hugh and Grace to be there to actually provide people good products. And also ultimately, I hope one day we don't have to test people to let them know their exposures, because they already have really good product to use. But for now, a lot of product we use are actually not that great.
And you don't realize the impact. I think for me, it's like one statistic I learned when I was going through all of our research, but the average woman puts on 12 products a day, which is 168 chemicals. The average man puts on over 80 chemicals a day. And you think about that, just that daily chemical exposure, and say, hey, if I can help reduce this even by, you sold about 4 of our products for those 12, you're helping reduce your chemical exposure by a third. And then I also loved, when we were first originally talking, you said, you cannot control your environment. It's really, really hard to control the air quality, and where you're going around. But your skincare, your personal care, you control it directly. That's something that you voluntarily put on your body or don't put on your body, but every single day. That's something you can control, the easiest way to control it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because yes, there are so many things that we can't control, but the part that we can control, we should definitely control, because these exposure eventually will accumulate, and you just don't know when your cup is going to get full. So it's always good to reduce these exposures, especially we already know they're can be harmful. So love it. Now that we're on products, so walk us through some of the products that you have.
I have some over here. So we have 4 products. We have, and we launched with skincare. So our mission is to help reduce chemical exposure through simple, effective ways. But so we launched with skincare, because one of the fastest ways and easiest ways to reduce your chemical exposure is through your skincare. So we have we have 2 face serums. We have a morning face serum and a night face serum. They are skin bright.
Morning.
There we go. There's your morning.
Mine is almost done. This is completely done. This is night.
I love this. I didn't even but so the morning serum, it's like products are luxurious. We've been very fortunate to have a lot of press. We've been featured in Forbes and Wall Street Journal, and Rachel Zoe is I think we're her largest investment. So people love the performance, but they're also very effective. We're having people report that the morning serum, there's a lot of vitamin C, 100% natural. It helps reduce wrinkles. people are replacing a 4 or 5 step regimen with just our one product. So we're having people say they use our one serum where they used to use a face serum and a moisturizer and an eye cream and a, you know, whatever else people use. But it's been great to have. So the performance is great. Our night serum, it's thicker. The morning serum is lighter, so you can put makeup on over afterwards. Like the night serum, is specifically formulated to help your cells restore and regenerate every night. One thing I learned that I thought was fascinating, because we didn't come from the skincare world, but what your cells actually regenerate between 2 and 3 a.m. every night. So there are things. There's a lot of vitamin C, a lot of vitamin A in the night serum. Vitamin A and E in the night serum, vitamin C in the morning, and the A and E is best for recovery at night. And then we have a cleansing bar. So you can use it on your entire body. I use it on my face. We have kids' showers, bathrooms, kitchen sinks. It's a moisturizing bar. It has an adaptogen complex, so it helps detoxify. And then we have a body oil. It's a dry body oil. I'm trying to see if I have it.
I have it.
Oh, there you go.
I just don't have the cleansing bar here. I'm halfway through the body oil. Yes, I have it
body
here.
oil. It's a dry body oil. You use this in place of lotion. I use it on my hair as eye makeup remover. We use it on our daughter's diaper rash. It's people say there are so many uses for it. It's great. But for me, I'm like, I have to be able to put it on and put my jeans on right away. This is back when I was wearing jeans. We were formulating the products years ago. But not have your legs be sticky. And so it's just, and they're gender neutral, they're simple, they're packaged in glass and paper, and just elegant products that the entire family can use.
This is awesome. You also mentioned adaptogen complex, because that's also an ingredient we don't see in many products, even the cleaner products. Could you explain to people what this adaptogen complex is? What's the benefit?
Yes, and so adaptogens are mushrooms. So you think about that, they actually help balance. So you think about mushrooms and soil. They actually help balance the soil and help break things down. And so it actually goes in your body, and it helps detoxify your body naturally. When we were formulating our products, we didn't want to have like a no list or a never list, because then you're focusing on what you're not. And people can always add crazy ingredients to those lists that will never even be considered in skincare. But we said, let's really focus on what we are. Let's not focus on, of course, we're not going to put chemicals in there that can cause infertility or all these other bad things. Let's focus on the positive. So our product pillars are to help detox, repair, and protect the body. And so the adaptogen complex helps with the detoxification, and also helping your body have strong skin, and so also helping repair. And while we launched with skincare, this upcoming year is very exciting. So excited for 2022, because we will be launching supplements. We'll be launching home care. So we can get in several of your buckets on Million Marker. I know we are Million Marker approved, which we are very thrilled to be. But things that you think about it, simple, no overcomplicate things, natural. Let's help your body be its best self.
Absolutely. Well, you also mentioned about packaging, because I know a lot of manufacturers don't really think about packaging, but Hugh and Grace, I know, pay a lot of attention on packaging, especially with your newer product. I know we had several conversations about that. Could you tell us a little bit about your hormone-safe packaging?
Yes. So we use amber. So a lot of people don't think about this, but you can put the product in the cleanest product into plastic, and those chemicals can leach if it gets hot. And so on our skincare, so we have amber glass bottles. The amber glass actually helps preserve the integrity of the product, maintains it longer. You don't want to have a skincare product in a clear glass. But we use glass and also paper. And you helped us figure this out. We encourage people to recycle the paper, but we actually do not use recycled paper in our packaging, because even recycled paper can contain these chemicals. But we're very thoughtful in our products. I can show you the secondary boxes, but our brand colors are green, the sage green and navy. So it's gender neutral. So even my husband, he doesn't feel like he's too feminine, and having having this on our countertops. And also I joke, like, my son's name is on this company. This is not only for women, men have hormones too. So to keep it where it's simple, compact, easy.
I also have my husband using it, and he loves it.
I, it's great. We've been traveling quite a bit. We were on 50 cities last year, and it was fantastic for us as we're traveling to only have a bag this big to fit our skincare products, and where I used to have many more. It saves counter space, but it also saves travel space and skin. One thing I didn't mention was I had terrible skin, especially going through all my fertility rounds. My skin in my 20s and 30s, I had cystic acne, I had melasma. I was always having a full face of makeup. I'm glowing right now because I just put the serum on. But I actually only wear eye makeup now. My skin in my 40s has never been better than it was from using these products. And just the simplicity of not having to use all these products and thinking about all the extra chemicals you're putting on your body if you don't need to.
Amazing, amazing. Now this is also part of self-care. When people think about self-care, they're thinking about, they don't really consider like detoxing from chemical. They're thinking about more like, putting on like a face mask or nail polish or something like that, which can be full of like harmful chemicals. Tell us like what self-care to you means to you.
Self-care to me, oh my gosh, emotionally, physically.
All of the above.
So self-care tip. So if I'm taking care of myself, I am using products that I can feel good using myself and my kids and my husband. So simplicity, ease, and also, but it's a luxurious feeling. Like we've had a lot of people tell us like our products smell like a spa. Like you're treating yourself. I think more emotionally is I love to, my whole mission in life, before starting this company, I've always worked for nonprofits or higher education because I've always wanted to give back and really create meaning and help people. And so we have our business model. We have an advocate program. So it's a peer-to-peer sales program where people can come and enroll and help sell our products and share our mission. But it really is this community of people who've been able to come and do this better than I can. And it's been so fun for us to learn from these people and to get to know them and have events and experiences with them. And so for me personally, to feel like I have impact in other people's lives, that's really, and helping them figure out their goals and helping them do fun things and things that are meaningful as well and sharing knowledge. I think that's probably my true version of self-care when it doesn't come to having amazing products.
That is so cool. Now you already said you have like some new product launching this year. What about some other upcoming events?
Oh my gosh, we have so many. So I think I mentioned our kids are 4 and 2, and they came with us on a lot of our trips last year, and we decided it's going to be much easier to travel if we have an RV. So we just purchased an RV. Our first trip was over the holidays, and there's a lot to learn. It is a lot of fun, but there's a lot to learn. But we will be going across the country this summer, and we have I think our next upcoming trip, we actually have a leadership summit for some of our top advocates, and that's next week in LA. We have a Cabo incentive trip in March. We're doing a villa in Punta Mita for people can still earn that trip for our top 10 performers in the company, and those are very high end. And then there'll be us in our RV driving across the country, and we have some. We'll be in Florida next month. We'll be in Arizona in March. We'll be there. I mean, we really want to support our advocates, and we show up for them. And so we have people reach out and say, "Hey, I have this event. Can you come please help us support and be there and talk about why products actually really matter and what you can do about it?" And so we get in planes or drive an RV and show up.
I love it. You're supporting your community, and so then they can also support their community. I love this. And then it's kind of also echoing back. I also want to touch on how you influence. You mentioned that, you always wanted to give back. And when I first learned about you, I was very, very impressed how you also influenced and completely changed maternity leave policies at USC. So, tell us about that, because I think that's like so incredible.
Oh, thank you. That was something that was okay. So backstory, it took us so many years to have our kids. And our first surrogate, Jenna, my sister-in-law, it took her 3 attempts to get pregnant. It was not this easy, thing where, we did an embryo transplant and worked right away. And then she almost died during the pregnancy. And so like, it was just this huge emotional thing when we were having our son. And I remember, and I worked for USC, and so I was in the major gifts team. So I've developed relationships with our top alumni and parents in 25 states, and I was always on the road. And so to have, and one reason I stayed at USC during, I was there for 6.5 years when I was trying to get pregnant, because USC had a very generous maternity leave program. I had other offers. I could have gone and worked for funds and made a lot more money than what I was making at USC. But I really wanted I was really wanting to be a mom and have access to this maternity leave program, and also have a flexible work-life balance as a mom. 3 weeks before my son was born, I got a call from the insurance company that said, hey, you're not physically pregnant. You don't get USC's maternity leave. And that was, I was shocked, first of all, because that was the reason I was paying into it. And I was at USC because I wanted their maternity leave. And they said, you can take the state and federal benefits, but you don't get our additional very generous program. And I said, that's not right. Like I'm going to be a new mom just as well as, just like everyone else. And so I said, no, I'm not going to accept the state and federal benefits, because if I accepted that, then I wouldn't have access to ever being able to change the policy or to have access to additional policies. So I took 1 sick day, the day my son was born. It was a scheduled C-section, so he knew the exact day. I took 1 sick day, and then he came with me on all it. I think the day he was able to travel, which is at 2 months old, we were on a flight and he came with me. Thankfully, I had amazing donors who really were excited to meet my son, but he came with me to coffee meetings, to lunch meetings. We did a lot of calls, but so I worked for a year. I advocated. I worked with these donors and with these, the trustees who I had great relationships with. And a year later, USC, right before Mother's Day, actually changed their policies. So now if you adopt or use a surrogate, you now have access to the maternity leave. It was a big deal because USC is the largest private employer in Los Angeles. And then also, which was really special to me, that a lot of my friends and donors also changed their policy. So the owner of the Minnesota Twins is a good friend. He changed the policy for the Minnesota Twins organization. He actually is an investor in Hugh and Grace. But several other companies has kind of followed USC's lead in making that change.
That is amazing. I think all companies needs to change. And I guess our country also needs to change this whole leave to actually offer more leaves to parents compared to, countries in Europe and other places. We don't have that much leave. But first start is making sure parents with adoptive kids or have surrogacy kids to actually have this leave, because they're going to be parents. This makes total sense. But thank you so much for what you did for all other ones.
No, you're welcome.
So everyone be sure to follow Hugh and Grace, and then try out their product. Yes, and Million Marker. Try out the product because today you can actually get 10% off using Million at your checkout.
Yeah, any day you can.
Yeah, any day.
At millionmarker.com. Through Million Marker, you have an affiliate link on your site. So go there, support Million Marker. We fund collaborations in the future with you.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us. And then thank you everyone for joining. This is so much fun.
Thank you, Jenna.
Okay, bye.